I'm going to talk about the Kung Fu Panda movies and the storytelling within them and how it changed between the first one and the second one, in my opinion. So, both movies fit kind of the hero's journey, right? And I'm not complaining about that, right? I like it, right? I think that's good. And you expect that coming into the movie, right? Plus, it's kind of the kind of movie you would expect it in. It's an animation movie for kids, basically. So, you get it. But I think that there is a difference in execution that I think made the second one better. Maybe in some sense, it is better for me. Or at least I enjoyed watching it more. Maybe something about DreamWorks and sequels, making like sequels that kind of have a bigger twist is interesting. And yeah, I'm going to give some reasons why I liked the second movie, like watching the second movie more. Maybe it's not a definitive opinion, but that's what I'm going to be arguing in this video. Talking about. So first, I'm going to talk about the first movie. And in the first movie, the thing with it was that it was maybe too predictable for my taste, right? It's like at every moment, you kind of knew more or less what was going to happen. There were some exceptions to that, and I thought the movie was good overall. But the constant feeling that I had throughout the movie was that you could predict what is going to happen next, right? So, for example, when he gets named Golden Warrior before that, he tries to climb like the wall, and right as the moment when you see him sitting on that fireworks chair, you know that he's going to be the Golden Warrior, right? It's like there is no doubt or no possible amount of thing that leads you to a different conclusion. And even though they play it well, right? The pacing is good. There is some element of timing, right? They set the chair on fire and it doesn't fire. So maybe you do get like this small sense of wondering if it actually is going to happen that way. But overall, it's like you know instantly that he's going to be, like right at the moment that he sits on the chair, you know that he's going to be the Golden Warrior, right? And more or less on how it plays out, it's like you constantly know that when everyone hates him, you know that he's going to overcome it, right? And it happens. And it's constantly like that, right? There is some good shit, right, that I thought was good. For example, when he's talking to Oogway, right? And Oogway, the turtle, is like the big master. And he tells him this kind of profound thing while he's eating. That part was good, in my opinion. And then, for example, when the master has to train him, right? And the master Shifu, the cat with the mustache or whatever, when that master has to train him, it's like you also know that is going to happen, right? But the way he does it is cool, right? The way he does it with the food and all this, that's like a nice twist, right? Okay, now I'm going to talk about the parts that I liked about the second movie, right? What is it about it that captivated me in that way, right? And I think it's what I said already, right? That this sense of the movie being more unpredictable was kind of nice. For example, the main example I think is basically with the main arc, right? In the main arc of the movie, when they say inner peace at the beginning, right? You know he's going to get inner peace, right? When the master, when Shifu is doing like the kung fu shit and he's saying this inner peace type shit like 4 or 5 times, you know, obviously, that the panda is going to get the inner peace at the end of the movie, right? And you more or less know that the inner peace is related to his parents being killed or whatever the fuck, right? But the way they do it is more unpredictable. For example, there is a moment when he has to, like, it's the Shen bird or whatever, conquer the city or whatever the fuck, right? Then they go to the city to go to him, and it's like you kind of expect that he's not going to get inner peace maybe in the journey, but there is kind of that element of doubt. Maybe he gets inner peace while walking and like while running whatever the fuck to the city in China, right? To the like capital of China or whatever the fuck, right? I don't know. Then they get to the capital. They do some things and they end up at the prison where the kind of 2 old kung fu masters are, right? And then you're like, they tell him, you don't have inner peace yet, blah, 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 basically, and we're going alone. And you're like, and he stays for a moment, he stays there in the prison alone with the 2 other masters, and you're like, whoa, he's going to get inner peace here, right? And then he escapes. He escapes the prison, right? Well, it's not. Yeah, he goes away, like he escapes from his friends' orders, and he fucks up the mission or whatever the fuck, right? And his friends get captured, and he gets shot with a cannon, right? And goes to the village, and then there he gets inner peace, right? And it's like in the woods he does like the inner peace dance. He handles the whatever, right? He talks to the old woman, and it's like you see that he got inner peace, and you're like, whoa. Then when he goes to save his friends, you assume that there's going to be like no complications, right? But then there is a small setback, right? And it's like there is a brief moment where the guy with the cannon uses the cannon and kind of is going to get away, and you're like, oh, okay, so now he's going to get inner peace, and then he gets inner peace, right? And like he shows the inner peace like doing this kind of cannonball type shit, right? So that part, I don't know, that progression to me felt I don't know, felt better, I guess. And then the other like source of inner peace or whatever, like the who am I, source of his dad being the goose, you know that he's going to be, my dad is the goose at the end, right? But it takes kind of the whole movie to get to that point, right? And because the whole movie was like that with some like intermittent setbacking and all that, I felt like it was better executed, or at least I enjoy watching it more than the other one. I feel like in the first one there are some, I guess the inner exploration is more obvious, so maybe that's why maybe it's the better movie. But watching it, I think I enjoyed more the second one. I don't know. Those are my conclusions basically, and hope you enjoyed this video. And I think I may leave some related video. I can't think of any video that's related that I have on my channel. Maybe, yeah, I will leave here my thoughts on the True Detective show, which was a good show. So if you want me talking about media, maybe I will leave that show around here.